Good morning everyone. Today we will be checking it out the time value of money concept and capital budgeting concept under the subject of financial management, code number BM383. Let us first start with the time value of money concept. The time value of money concept is related with the time value of money, as we know that when the time will passes, after some time the value of the currency will goes down. So to get the same purchasing power, the value of money should be increased, and that concept is used with the help of interest and interest calculation. Hence, the time value of money means the value of money after the passes of a time that will be calculated in this part. So there are two values which is available for us in this concern. Number one is the future value. Future value means the amount which we invest today will be increased in the future date, and whatever we are going to get, that will be the future value of the money. For example, if I invest 1000 rupees for 4 years at 10% rate of interest, my total amount will be 1000 plus interest. That will be the future value which I will get. Similarly, we have reverse concept which says present value. Suppose I am getting 1400 rupees in future, that is after 1 year. What will be the value which is to be invested to get the 1400 rupees after 1 year? That will be called as the present value. It is the sum which will be received in future date, but we calculate its value for today. So if we calculate the today's value, from the future value interest is deducted. If we calculate the future value in the present value, the amount of interest will be added. So these are the two concepts which we will check it out today. For the purpose of calculating the present value and future value, there are three techniques which is used normally. Annual compounding. Biannual means compound 2 times in a year, and quarterly compounding. When there will be a compounding, which means that the interest will be added after the time period, like annual, there is after 1 year, interest will be added in principal, so to calculate the next year's interest. Similarly, biannual 2 times interest will be added, in quarterly 4 times interest will be added. So when we calculate the biannual compounding, what we do, we divide the interest rate with 2 and multiply the time period with 2. Similarly, in case of quarterly compounding, we multiply the time period into 4 and we divide the interest rate by 4, so that we can calculate the compound value. For this purpose, the mathematical formula used is A is equal to P into 1 plus i's power n. That means the amount at the end of the period and is equal to the principal amount which is invested into 1 plus rate of interest, and the power n is the period. So with the help of this formula, we calculate the future value. Similar to the future value, we also calculate the present value, and we just make a transfer from one side to another. We have already seen that A is equal to P multiplied by 1 plus i's power n. Now if we have to calculate P, that is A divided by 1 plus i's power n. So we calculate the present value with the same formula just by transferring one value from one side to another. We can also calculate the same with the help of calculator, and we also calculate the same with the help of the present value table. Now today I will show it to you that how we calculate with the help of the tables. and for that purpose we calculate the future inflows and multiply it with the present value. The present value is calculated with the table, and in that table we multiply the future inflow with the table value that is calculated with the given number of years and the percentage of interest. Both these things is available to us for the purpose of calculation. Now we try to calculate the future values for these 5 questions. In these 5 questions it is given that if we check out one by one, initial investment in the question number 1 is 2 lakh, time is 3 years and rate of interest is 12%. So either we calculate by using the old method of calculator, or we can use the table value and multiply with the help of table value so to calculate the future value. Now in the case of table value, we will open the tables, and with the help of table value we will be calculating that. So in the table, first we have the present value table, but we do not require the present value table. Another is also present value table. No, this is the future value table. The third one, interest rate is given and the amount at the end of the period is given. So in our question, 2 lakh rupees is the principal amount, 3 years and 12%, so that will be the value which we have to check it out. This side we have number of years, so 3 years and 12%, the value is 1.405. So for this question we calculate the future value with the help of very simple calculation. 2 lakh into future value of rupees 1 for 3 years, 12% rate of interest. So we write FV 3 and 12, and that will be 2 lakh into 1.402, which we have calculated with the help of the table. So with the help of using the table, we can calculate the values. It was 405, so we can make it correct. Now by multiplying this, we will be getting the answer of the question. Similarly, if we change the other values, like initial investment is 5 lakh, so it is replaced by the investment. Now here the term is 5 years and the rate is 14%. So we will go to the same table and we will be checking it out, the 5 years term period and 14%. So 5 year is this one and 14% is calculated from the top. The value is 1.925. So for the second example, 1.925 is the value. So future value is equal to 5 lakh into 1.925. So with the help of the table, we can easily calculate the future value, which is as per this statement. Now we move to the another one, that is the present value. For the purpose of present value, we again use the same table, but the table heading should be the present value table. So in the present value table, we will be checking it out, the present value of the amount which we are going to receive. Now I have changed taken the same question but changed the value from future value to present value, so that we will be having the present value of these sum. For example, if 2 lakh rupees is received after 3 years at 12% rate of interest, and we have to calculate the present value, so we can again move to the table, but here we will go to the first table, that is heading as present value table, present value of rupees 1 to be received after 3 years, and we will use the same method as we have used previously for future value. Now we will have to see the same 3 years and 12%. The value of 3 years and 12% will be calculated. So the value is 0.712. So we will calculate the present value by writing 2 lakh into 0.712. So this will be the answer. This will be the present value for annual compounding. We have the table with the help of which we can calculate the annual compounding, so that the annual calculation is done with the help of the present value and future value tables. We start the capital budgeting with the definitions. The first definition was given by Holmgren, and the definition says that it is the long-term planning of financial proposal or capital outflow. So if we plan for the capital expenditure for a long-term period, that will be included in the capital budgeting. A similar but broader definition is given by the Spencer. The Spencer has given the definition which says that it involves the investment or the planning for the expenditure of assets and including the return of which will be realized in the future time period. So the Spencer said, or he has added, that we will plan for the expenditure for assets and we will analyze the result in the form of the returns which we will get. Another question arises that why we require the capital budgeting. Because each and every company, somewhere at the beginning or after a few years, has to plan for improvisation, has the plan for increasing or adding another capital budgeting project or another new project for which they will be requiring finance and financial requirements. For that purpose, the method which will be used to analyze the capital budgeting program or investment decision is called as the capital budgeting. Thus, under the capital budgeting, first thing which will be done is analysis of capital structure. So, if we have the capital budgeting proposal, say for amount of 1000 crore rupees, so what is the need of analyzing the project? Number one is, when we will analyze the capital structure, first thing is, with the help of capital structure, we came to know that how we will get the amount of 1000 crore for the purpose of a project. Then after some time, when we decide that the capital structure will be this, or we finalize the capital structure, then we have to decide that whether we will select the project or not. So for selection or for selecting the best project, we require the capital budgeting. Under the capital budgeting, there are various methods. With the help of those methods, we will be calculating the best project so that the best project will be selected for execution. If there are more than one project which were selected, then we have to make a coordination between the capital expenditure, because those expenditures are more than one. So when the amount will be invested, when we will require the money, so that thing is also used. The another point is control over the capital expenditure. When we know that this much money is available for the capital expenditure, we can put a better control. We can also avoid the losses which may be due to the bad control over the project. So the capital budgeting project will provide the details that when and why and up to what amount we can spend in one particular investment proposal. Similarly, when we don't know that whether the project will be really useful or not, then capital budgeting will provide us the detail that will be safeguarding us in case of any uncertainty or any risk. Finally, with the help of capital budgeting, we can manage the source of finance from where we take the money. The types of capital budgeting decisions includes accept and reject decision. That means when the capital project is accepted and when it will be rejected. So if the capital budgeting project is found viable, we will accept the project, otherwise we will reject the project. Mutually exclusive projects are two projects and the taking of decision regarding their acceptance will have no impact on each other. So if there are two projects and both are going on simultaneously, in that case the mutually exclusive projects includes the project which are having no relationship with each other. So one will be executed and another may be delayed, then there will be no problem, no impact on each other. So that is called mutually exclusive project. Capital rationing decision is another decision which is being taken with the help of this method. Capital rationing is providing the capital for the project in various parts, in various installments. So rationing decision is also being taken with the help of capital budgeting. Independent decision is taken when only there is one project and that project is to be executed or not is the mode of identifying the decision. Contingent proposal is made when due to any uncontrollable activity the current project or current proposal is not being able to executed by the firm. So in that case, in place of the current project, contingent project will be taken because or due to the contingency. Replacement decision is another decision which is to be taken since we know that technology is expanding day by day. New technology is coming into the market and due to the new technology, the efficiency is increasing day by day. So if the project or if the machinery of a company is older and the company want to increase and change the existing machinery, then replacement decision is to be taken which will be useful for the firm for making replacement of its assets and other things. Now another thing which is important here are the factors which is considered for capital budgeting decision. The factor includes the investment or outlay. So as in every project, we first identify what is the amount of investment and what will be the cash inflow, the cash which comes in. So we will have to invest the whole money today and we will be getting the money replaced in various installments. So what will be the cash inflows and cash outflows? That is our first factor which we have to consider. Similarly, the net cash inflow also includes the benefits. The benefits like tax benefits and the benefits like efficiency increase. So those benefits are also considered for this purpose. Project life is another important factor which is considered since we will use the depreciation term and the depreciation is always calculated as per the life of the project. So as per the life of the project, the depreciation is divided into certain part and that is why the project life is important. Minimum rate of return is another consideration because each and every company is getting the money with the help of various types of capital. Each type of capital is having its own cost. So the cost of each type of capital is to be covered and that is why a company has to decide the minimum rate of return that should be earned by the company with the help of the capital budgeting project. So this will also be considered, including the opportunity cost. The company is having opportunity sometime to not to accept the project, and while company is not accepting the project, the assets is being given to somebody else for its use, and with the help of that use by somebody else, the company is getting some amount as a lease or rental charges. So these amounts can also be used for the taking the decision that if the company will take the decision and start its own project, certainly the other income of rent or lease will not be available. So opportunity cost is also being considered. And finally, the risk of obsolescence means after some time the project will be of no use. So if the project will be of no use due to technological advancement, due to restrictions by the government and other governing agencies, so in that case the capital budgeting project which has been considered before may be of no use. So that is why we will have to consider that whether the capital budgeting project will be of use or will be of no use, and if it is will be of no use after certain time period, then we have to adjust the depreciation and other costs accordingly. So these are the factors which is being considered. There are two types of techniques which is used for capital budgeting. Number one is the traditional technique, and number two is the modern techniques. In the traditional techniques, there are two types of techniques: payback period related techniques and average rate of return or accounting rate of return related techniques. These two are traditional techniques, means non-discounted techniques or non-time adjusted techniques, while the modern techniques includes the net present value, profitability and internal rate of return technique. These three are the discounted techniques or are considering the time value of money. So that is why it is called discounting techniques and non-discounting techniques. So we will check it out the techniques one by one. First we will be checking it out the payback period method. As it is clear with its name, the payback period means the period in which our investment amount will be earned back by the company. Normally, for the purpose of foreign projects and riskier project, this technique is being used widely in all the part of the world. So, in this method, the first thing which we have to do is to calculate the cash inflow. The cash inflows are either uniform, means same cash inflow for all the years, and non-uniform means different from each year. Before we go further, let me tell you about the cash inflows. For the purpose of all the techniques except the accounting rate of return, we will be requiring the cash inflows, that is after tax but before depreciation. For calculating those, what we do is we will calculate as per the financial statement till the profit after tax, and after calculating profit after tax we add the depreciation amount again. So by adding the depreciation amount again, we will be getting the net profit which is after tax but before depreciation, and that will be considered as a cash flow for this method. So when the cash flows are uniform, a simple formula is used: initial investment upon uniform cash inflows, that is after tax but before depreciation. So by using this formula, we will be calculating the payback period when cash inflows are uniform. But when the cash inflows are not uniform, in that case we will check it out, that we will prepare the cumulative cash inflows and calculate the same. Now I have one question which we will be solving it out to identify that whether the payback period is there in this project or not. For this purpose, we have been given that a project is requiring 80,000 rupees as an investment. So the amount of investment is 80,000 and we are getting 20,000 rupees, that is before depreciation and after tax. So this is what we require. So first we have to identify that cash inflow is before depreciation and after tax or not. If it is, then we can solve with the help of formula. Payback period is equal to initial investment upon average cash inflow, that is uniform, average or uniform cash inflow. So here we have the 80,000 rupees as the project cost and 20,000 rupees is what we are getting. So it is equal to 4 years, which means that the payback period of this is 4 years. If the payback period is 4 years, that means that whatever we have invested, we will be getting it back in 4 years. When the cash inflows are not uniform, so if the cash inflows are not uniform, then we use the accumulation method and we accumulate the profit one by one years so that we will get the investment in one particular year. Now I have another question which says that cost of project is 20,000 rupees and cash flows are 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 2,000, 3,000 and 2,000. Then how we calculate the payback period? The first thing is we have to check out that the cash inflows which are given. Since nothing is given, then we believe that cash inflows are after tax and before depreciation. So we will take the cash inflows and we will write it in a table in which we write years cash inflows and cumulative cash inflow, which we are going to calculate. So there are 5 years cash inflow which has been given to us. The first year's inflow is 5,000, then 6,000, 7,000, 2,000, 3,000, and there is one more year, 6th year, for which we have 2,000 as a cash inflow. So now we calculate the accumulation with the help of the first year. In first year we are getting only 5,000. In the second year we are getting 2 years profit. So 5 plus 6, 11,000. In the third year we are getting 5 plus 6 plus 7. So 11 plus 7 is 18,000. In the fourth year we are getting 20,000. So 18 plus 2. In the next year 20 plus 3, 23,000. And in the last year we get 25,000 rupees total as a cash inflow. So when we calculate that we are getting this much of amount, now we have to compare it with the project cost, that is 20,000. So we will be checking it out. In cumulative cash inflow, in front of fourth year, we got 20,000 rupees. So our payback period is equal to 4 years. So by this method, we can calculate the payback period for a project, whether the project is having uniform or not uniform cash inflows. The another method which we will be checking it out today, that is the second non-discounted method, accounting rate of return method. The accounting rate of return is absolute return method in which we take the average annual cash inflow after depreciation and after tax. This is the only method in which we use both the type of cash inflows and both the time it is after tax and after depreciation. So with the help of the average inflows, we will be calculating that how much we are getting in 1 year. So in this method, we calculate it with the simple formula, the estimated average annual net inflow after tax and after depreciation. It is divided by average investment. The depreciation is calculated in this method on the basis of the direct or straight line method, which has the formula initial investment minus scrap on life of the project. So by that way we calculate depreciation, and average investment we calculate by adding investment and scrap, and it is divided by 2. So with this method we will be calculating the accounting rate of return. So now we will check it out that how we calculate the accounting rate of return for a project. So we have 3 projects, and in the 3 projects we will be checking it out that what will be the ARR. So for the first project I will be showing the results here. Initial investment is 10,000 and salvage value is nil. While the company is getting 1750 rupees for as an annual cash inflow, and this is actually the value which should be here. It is due to checking it out with the PPT. So let me correct this one. So in the first project, investment is 10,000, salvage is nil, life is 10 years, annual cash inflow before depreciation and after tax. So it is given before depreciation, and we require after depreciation and after tax. So we have to reduce the depreciation from this. So in that case, we will first calculate the depreciation. The formula of depreciation is the cost value minus scrap upon life in year. The cost value is of the project is 10,000, scrap is 0, life in year is 10. So that means 1,000 rupees is the annual depreciation which is to be charged. So this is the first thing which we have to calculate. Now thereafter we calculate the average annual cash inflow, that is after tax and after depreciation. Since we have been given the cash inflows before depreciation, we have to reduce the depreciation from this. So that will be written like annual cash inflow 1750 minus depreciation 1000. So we will be getting average annual cash inflow after depreciation and tax 750 rupees. Now thereafter we use the formula of ARR and calculate the answer. ARR is average annual cash inflow 750 upon average investment. So I am calculating here average investment is equal to cost plus scrap upon 2. So cost is 10,000, scrap is 0 upon 2 means 5,000. So 750 upon 5,000 into 100. This will be the ARR, or average rate of return, or accounting rate of return. So it will be 15%. The ARR or actual or average rate of return is 15% for this question. Similarly, if we have different years, like in B question, 2000 for first 5 years and then 1500, so we will separately calculate the cash inflows only, rest other part of the question will remain same. So this will be the second method of ARR. Now in the next class we start with the discounting technique, in which we will use the various tables like present value table more probably, and with the help of the present value we will use the discounted method and solve out the question. So thank you.